Ripon's Murray Park, where Ripon, game number 2, where Ripon won game number 1, 13-12 on a Lexi Miller hit with bases loaded at the bottom of the 7th inning to give Ripon the win here in a game that they came from behind, where they were down 10-1 early in this game. So starting the first inning for Ripon, going to be Emily Kujabuski at the plate as Emily takes ball 1 to get things rolling here this afternoon. So first game, Lexi Miller, the hero for the Tigers, giving Ripon their 3rd victory of the year. And now we have a strike call on Kujabuski. Give her a 1-1 count. Blad pitching for the Panthers, and Kujabuski grounds out to the shortstop for out number 1 here in the top of the first inning of game number 2. As first game hero Lexi Miller steps up to the plate for the Tigers. Lexi, we actually gave her a double on that hit. She takes a strike to start out here in the first inning. 0-1 count to Lexi. Lexi with a double and a base hit back in the 5th inning of the first game. And she sends this one out to right field for out number 2. So 2 away for the Tigers starting off the top of the first inning, as Abby Radloff steps up to the plate. Abby with a triple in the first inning of the first game. She takes the ball. Starting here in the second game here this afternoon. And she'll pop this one up to the shortstop. She'll garner that one for out number 3, a 1-2-3 inning for the Tigers. No runs come across, no hits, no errors. So at the end of 1/2 inning of play, it's Ripon 0, Plymouth 0. Getting ready to start the bottom of the first inning for Plymouth. First batter up will be Ray Hansen for the Panthers. Just getting game 2 underway. Ripon had a 3 up, 3 down top of the first inning. Now Plymouth comes to the plate in the bottom of the first inning. Ray Hansen leading off on deck. It looks like it's going to be Sophie Hansen. So first pitch to Hansen will be a ball. High. 1-0 count. As Hansen takes another ball. And strike now to Hansen. I believe that makes it a 2-1 count. And Hansen flies out to center field for out number 1 for the Panthers. Lexi Miller pulls that in as Sophie Hansen steps up to the plate now for Plymouth with 1 out. Hansen, the second batter, and Hansen takes a ball. Didn't get a batting lineup for Plymouth, so not sure what their lineup is. We'll just do it as we can. And we got a swing and a miss for Sophie Hansen. And Hansen gets it over the top of second baseman for Ripon. And Sophie Hansen with a base hit to get things underway here for and if they follow the same order we had before, this batter should be Izzy Arbuckle. Not sure if she's got a sweatshirt on, so we can't see her number. So we're going to assume this is Arbuckle. And now a ball and a strike to Arbuckle for a 1-1 count. Runner at first, 1 out. And a low pitch, that's going to send Hansen over to second base on the pass ball. So Layla Simonis pitching for Ripon. And drives that down to third base line, foul for strike 2. It's going to be a 2-2 count to Arbuckle. And the next batter coming up will be Callie Helmer. And the ball drops foul. So the count will remain 2-2. 1 out, and Izzy Arbuckle at the plate. So Simonis gets set for her next pitch. That's going to be high. Give her a full count at 3 balls, 2 strikes. As Simonis gets ready for the next pitch. And she pops that one right in there, pop up. Going to be to second base, Allie Bumby, and she pulls that one in for out number 2. As Callie Helmer will step to the plate next for the Panthers. So Helmer steps in, falls that one back for strike 1. And the next ball is a ball. 1-1 count now to Helmer. Nikki Heff's on deck, and this one's going to be fouled down third base. So our count will be 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Raining again here at Murray Park. It started raining just before the start of the second game. So 2-1 count, or 1-2 count rather. Now it should be a 2-2 count. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Helmer. And that's right in there. That's going to be driven right over the head of Ellie Bumby. A run's going to come across the score. Helmer goes to second. So Helmer with a double for the Panthers. And first run comes across the score for the Panthers. That's Sophie Hansen. An RBI double for Helmer. And Nikki Hefs steps up to the plate for the Plymouth Panthers. 2 outs, 1 run comes across. Runner at second for the Panthers as Hefs steps up to the plate. First pitch to Nikki is a ball. Next batter for Ripon, or for Plymouth, will be Lucy Bine. And the next pitch, swing and a miss. Gonna make it a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Next pitch by Simonis is a ball. Oh, I'm stand corrected. It's 3 balls, 1 strike. And a strike right down the middle. Full count now. To Hefs. And that's in there, swing and a miss for the 3rd out. So Plymouth gets one run across on 2 hits. And no errors at the end of 1 complete inning of play. It's Plymouth 1, Ripon 0. Starting the top of the first inning for the Tigers will be Avery Makarevich. Avery had a good first game. First pitch to Avery is a ball, so she starts with a 1-0 count. In the first game, Avery had a double and a home run. Came across to score 3 runs for Ripon. Still raining out, so getting a little soggy out here. As Makarevich drills one out to left field, and second home run of the day for Makarevich. This time she puts it back out over left center field. So home run number 2 for Makarevich. One in the first game now, one in the second game. And coming to the plate will be Cassidy Motter. Motter had a good game in the first game as well. She had a single, a double, had her RBI single. She was part of that big 5th inning for the Tigers, and this one she hits foul down the third base line for strike 1. So 1 run on the board, tied up here in the bottom or the top of the first inning. As Motter takes the ball, so 1 ball, 1 strike. And another ball to Motter. 2-1 count to Cassidy now. Cassidy waits for the next pitch from Blad, and she'll foul that one down the third base line. So no outs, 1 run across for Ripon. Otter only the second batter here to start the second inning, as we've got a 2-2 count on Cassidy. And that one's right down the middle. She'll pop that one out to left field, and left fielder will get under it for out number 1 for the Tigers. And that brings up Allie Bumby for the Tigers with Erica Mills on deck. 1 out, 1 run has come across for Ripon to tie this game up at 1-1. As Mills, or Allie Bumby rather, steps to the plate. She hits that one to third base and going to be thrown out at first for out number 2 on the 5-3 play, and Erica Mills now comes up to bat for Ripon. Mills had a double in the 7th inning for Ripon, and a double also in the 5th inning for Ripon. Her first pitch is a ball. So 1-0 count. Next one's a ball, high. So Erica, 2 balls, no strikes. And a third pitch to Mills is a ball as well. So 3-0 count. Okay, I was corrected that there was a strike in there. Now fouled it away, so if I'm understanding right, this is a 2-2 count. So my error, I didn't hear the umpire call it as a strike earlier. And now a ball. That's going to load the count up at 3 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, she waits for the next pitch. That's in there. She'll foul that one down the third base line. So Erica Mills hanging in there. Nobody on, 2 outs for Erica Mills. Full count as she hits a foul ball. Foul ball off the bat. So Mills hanging in there. Looking to get one in the outfield for a base hit. Next pitch. That's going to be low, and she'll get a base on balls. So Mills extends the inning, as coming up to bat will be Layla Simonis. Layla doing the pitching for Ripon here in the second game. She pitched most of the first game. She waits for the pitch, and that's going to be a ball way high. 1-0 count to Layla. Runner at first with 2 outs. And another ball now to Layla. Makes it a 2-ball, no strike count. Ripon tied up here 1-1 with the Panthers here in the top of the second inning as Simonis takes another ball. 3 balls, no strikes. Umpire going to throw a fresh dry ball in now. Try to keep the balls rotated here so that they can try to keep balls as dry as they possibly can with it raining out. And a low pitch is going to be ball 4 to Simonis. Puts Mills over on second. Mills at first, or Simonis at first. As Eva Baker will step up to the plate. Eva had a double in the 7th inning for the Tigers and scored a run. And first pitch to Baker is a strike. 0-1 count for Baker at her first at bat here in the second game. And another low pitch, and Mills going to go to third on the passed ball. So Mills is at third. Simonis advances to second. Runners in scoring position with 2 outs, and Baker at the bat. He calls a strike. That one looked a little bit high in my opinion, but I'm sitting back quite a bit further from the umpire. And that one, she's going to drill foul out to left field, and that's going to drop as runners will go back to second and third for the Tigers. Baker will come back to the plate. So Eva Baker up to bat for Ripon, as she's got 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 outs, runners at second and third for the Tigers. And she tags this one, and that one's foul. Baker getting out ahead of the pitch, and driving them foul down the third baseline, out of bounds. Next pitch. She gets that one, it's going to go foul. So the count holds at 1-2 for Baker with 2 outs, runners at second and third. Ripon with an opportunity here. And a swing and a miss is going to be the third out for the Tigers. But 1 run comes across for Ripon to tie this game at 1-1. And so at the end of 1.5 innings of play, it's Ripon 1, Plymouth 1. Welcome back here to Murray Park. First batter up for Plymouth will be Lucy Bine with Evelyn Flunker on deck. Bine will step into the box to wait for the first pitch from Simonis. First pitch is outside for ball one to Lucy Bine. Bine had a home run back in the fourth inning of the first game. She pops this one up to center field. Right underneath it is Lexi Miller for out number one. So it brings up Evelyn Flunker, the left-handed batter. And on deck is Shay McMullen for Plymouth. So Evelyn Flunker at bat, and she'll foul that one away down the first baseline for a strike. Yeah, she'll step back into the box for the next pitch, and that's going to be high for a ball. That should make us give us a 1-1 count. And she'll pop that one up. And running to get it is Lexi Miller, and Miller pulls it in for out number two. Coach had just told her to move over to her right a little bit, and she did, and was able to run straight in and garner that ball for out number two as Shay McMullen comes up to the plate. For the Panthers, she'll take ball one. So 2 outs, nobody on, with McMullen at the plate with 1 ball. And ball 2 now to McMullen. One and one our score here. Ball high. So 3-0 count to McMullen. 3 balls, no strikes. As Simonis puts one in there, she'll ground that one to shortstop. Throws it to first to Mills, and that'll be 3 up, 3 down. No runs, no hits for Plymouth. As at the end of 2 complete, it's Ripon 1, Plymouth 1. Starting the top of the 3rd inning for Ripon, it's going to be Emily Kujabuski stepping up to the plate. Emily takes ball 1. Top of the order for the Tigers. Emily Kujabuski playing right field this game for Ripon. And she'll take ball 2. 2-0 count to Emily. Emily grounded out to shortstop in the 1st inning. Emily back up. She'll foul the next pitch away. And out of bounds for strike 1. Emily now with 2 balls, 1 strike. As Blad sets to throw the next pitch. And now a pop-up. That's going to go to the second baseman for out number 1. Here in the top of the 3rd inning for Ripon. And that'll bring up Lexi Miller with Abby Radloff on deck for the Tigers. So Lexi steps up. She flew out to right field. And now ground ball right up the middle, bounces off second base, and she'll get a base hit. To start off here, Lexi having a good day at the plate today. She had a good first game and was the hero of the first game as she drove in the game-winning run. As Abby Radloff steps up for Ripon. Avery Makarevich on deck for the Tigers. Abby flew out to the shortstop. And now a wild pitch is going to send Miller over to second base. So no, 1 out for Ripon. Runner at second, Abby Radloff at the plate with ball 1. Top of the 3rd inning. And an inside pitch for ball 2. As Radloff ready for the next pitch, and that's in there. She's going to pop that up. It's going to go out of bounds, but it's going to be pulled in by the 3rd baseman for out number 2. As that'll bring up Avery Makarevich. With 2 outs, runner at second. Makarevich blasted her second home run of the day. And she hits this one, line drive out to left field, right down the line. It's going to be fair. Makarevich rounds first, goes to second, and Miller comes in to score for Ripon, putting Ripon ahead 2-1 here in this top of the 2nd inning for the Tigers. Tigers got some confidence winning that first game by 1 run. Brings up Cassidy Motter here in the 3rd inning for the Tigers. Cassidy coming up with 1 out, runner at second. And she'll foul the first pitch away. And the next pitch is high to Motter. So 1-1 count, and Makarevich goes to third. So we got a 2-ball, 1-strike count to Cassidy. And ground ball to third. Run's going to come across, but it doesn't score as that's the 3rd out. As they throw Motter out for the 3rd out at first base. So at the end of 2.5 innings of play, it's Ripon 2, Plymouth 1. Starting the bottom of the third inning for Plymouth. Coming up to bat, they're going to start at the ninth batter. And that batter is, she's a lefty. I can't see the number over on the JV game. Ripon leading 4-0 in the third inning over on the JV game. As the first pitch is a ball. Next pitch in there for a strike. So 1-1 count to this young lady in the bottom of the third inning. Next pitch is a ball. So 2-1 count. I think that might be Glad, but I'm not positive. Number 13 for Plymouth. And number 13 is Bowden Budrecki. And she hits it second base, ground ball, it throws it over to Mills, and that'll be first out of the inning for Plymouth. As Budrecki gets the out. That brings up the top of the lineup with Ray Hansen. She'll foul that one away for strike one. Oh, 0-1 count to Ray Hansen. As next pitch to her is a ball. 1-1 count now to Hansen with one out, nobody on. And a ground ball over to Motter at third base. She'll throw it over to first, and they get the out. She has to stretch for it, but she keeps her foot on the bag, and they get the second out of the inning. Out number 2 brings up Sophie Hansen, left-hander for Plymouth, in the bottom of the third inning. Plymouth considered the home team here in the bottom of the third in this second game of the doubleheader. And she'll take a ball outside. So Sophie Hansen steps back up. She'll tip this one back foul. And that should make it got 2 balls. I didn't see how many strikes, at least one. And a ball outside. 3 balls, 1 strike to Sophie Hansen. So a swing and a miss is going to be out, or excuse me, strike 2, full count to Sophie Hansen. See if Layla can get her out here, and she'll foul that one back. So the count remains full, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Sophie Hansen with 2 outs and nobody on. Hansen only the third batter up here in the bottom of the third inning for Plymouth. She'll foul the next pitch back. Rain is let up here, so they haven't had to switch balls as frequently. As Hansen steps in again, and that's going to be ball 4. She'll get a base on balls. Hansen had a base hit back in the first inning. That puts a runner on for Plymouth, brings up Izzy Arbuckle. Arbuckle flew out to the second base in the first inning for Plymouth. And inside pitch is going to be ball 1. Ripon winning the first game of this doubleheader 13-12. Right now leading here in the bottom of the third inning 2-1. as a fly ball to left center field is pulled in by Eva Baker for out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning for the Panthers. No runs, no hits, no errors at the end of 3. It's going to be Ripon 2 and Plymouth 1. Getting ready to start the top of the 4th inning. First batter up for Ripon will be Allie Bumby. Allie, last inning, grounded out to first base as she'll bounce one down, and they're going to call it a foul ball. Umpire calls it a foul ball for strike 1. Oh, they're calling her out. They said the ball hit her in the foot, apparently, as I understand it. So, Allie Bumby with the first out. And that's going to bring up Erica Mills. Erica got on a base on balls, got around to third base, but they couldn't get her across the plate to score in the second inning. This is the top of the 4th as Mills waits for her second pitch. That's going to be low for a ball. And next pitch to Mills. It's going to be high for a ball. Going to make our count 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes to Erica. And a strike right down the middle as Mills watches that sail by. And another one. Strike. Loads it up at 3-2. And she'll foul this one away, and it's going to go to the first baseman for out number 2 on the pop-up. So that brings up Layla Simonis. Simonis got on base on a base on balls last time. And low pitch is going to be a ball. That one almost rolled down the ground. It was so low. So she'll wait for her second pitch. And she'll get a hit over the third base. She'll throw it over to first. Out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. No runs across. No hits, no errors. As we end 3.5 innings of play with Ripon leading 2-1. Getting ready to start the fourth, bottom of the fourth inning. Plymouth trailing here 2-1 as coming up to bat is Callie Helmer. Callie with a double in the first inning. First pitch to Helmer is a ball. So 1-0 count to Helmer. She steps in to get ready for her second pitch. And she'll belt that one out to left field, and that's going to be over the fence, and that's going to tie up the score here at 2 apiece. Eva Baker out there, she tried to jump for it, but it was still too high over her head to pull that in. So another home run here this afternoon. Helmer with her first home run of the day. And stepping up to the plate, Nikki Hefts. Nikki's second time up to bat for Plymouth. She was up in the first inning and now here in the bottom of the fourth. So first pitch is a ball high. As the next pitch, she fouls that one away for strike one. One ball, one strike count. Yeah, she steps up waiting for the next pitch. That's in there. She's going to hit that out to center field. And Lexi Miller there to greet that ball for out number one. Well, I stand corrected. It must have hit the ground. I couldn't see. I thought she scooped that one in for the out. But I was apparently wrong. So she gets a base hit. As Lexi Miller couldn't quite get to that ball. So she's on first. Now she's going to go to second, steal second. They try to throw her out there, but she gets on base safe. Lucy Bine up to bat now. She's got one ball on her. Bottom of the fourth inning, game number 2. We're tied up at 2-2. As Bine fouls that one away for a strike one. 1-1 count to Lucy Bine. And pop up. And going out to get it and dropping the ball was Abby Radloff. And now they're going to throw out Hefts at second. And she led way off, and they got the ball thrown over for out number one for the first out of the bottom of the fourth inning. So first pitch to Flunker is a ball. Evelyn Flunker up to bat. The runner at first with one out. Flunker waits for the next pitch. That's going to be called a strike. Gives us 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at first and 1 out. 2-2 our score here this afternoon, or this evening rather at this point. Now ground ball goes to the pitcher, and they'll make the throw out at second on a fielder's choice. So Simonis throws it over to second to force the out over there. So 2 away, runner at first. Batter is Shay McMullen. She'll foul that one away for strike 1. Bottom of the 4th inning. 2 outs, runner at first. And she'll pop that one up. America Mills gets under it and foul away, but gets the out in foul territory as Mills pulls that in for out number 3. But 1 run scores on 2 hits. One of those a home run. That was the first batter of the inning for Plymouth as they tie the score here at Ripon 2 and Plymouth 2. Back to start the top of the 5th inning. Ripon leading off for the Tigers will be Eva Baker. Baker with a strikeout back in the 2nd inning. As first pitch, a called strike to Baker. Next one's going to be a ball, so 1-1 count to Eva Baker. Looking over at the JV game, it's Ripon leading 4-0 in the 3rd inning. And Baker hits one to left field for a base hit. Leads things off here for Ripon. As Baker on first base, that'll bring us the top of the lineup, and coming in to bat now for the Tigers will be Kylie Disterhalf as she went in to play right field for Emily Kojabuski last inning. Disterhalf had a base hit back in the first game as she did a pinch hit job for Erica Mills. She hit a double. First ball is a strike swinging. As Baker's now at second base. And we got a bunt laid down, and that's going to be fair, and Disterhalf will be safe at first on a bunt single. Puts runners at first and third. Baker at third for the Tigers with Lexi Miller stepping up to the plate. Miller had a base hit in the 3rd inning and scored a run at the same time, or in the same inning. And she takes a strike for the first time. Disterhalf will advance over to second base. No outs here in the top of the 5th inning for Ripon as Lexi Miller with a 0-1 count. And now she'll foul one down the third baseline. So Lexi Miller will step back to the plate once again for the Tigers. Lexi will have a no ball, 2-strike count on her. And she'll drill this one over between or to the right of second base. 2 runs are going to score for Ripon, putting Ripon ahead 4-2 here in this 5th inning as Miller gets a base hit for the Tigers. So no outs. Lexi Miller at first and Abby Radloff to come up for Ripon. Abby with a triple in the first inning of the first game. And that's right up the middle. She'll hit that past the second baseman for a base hit. And Miller going to go to third. Radloff will go over to second. So runners in scoring position for the Tigers with Avery Makarevich coming to the plate for the Tigers with no outs. 2 runs have come across to put Ripon ahead 4-2 here this afternoon in game number 2 of this doubleheader. Ripon won the first one 13-12, coming from behind to win that game as they had a huge 5th inning. Scored 7 runs in the 5th inning of the first game to manage to ultimately win that game. Makarevich takes a high pitch. Runners hold at second and third with no outs for the Tigers. Next pitch to Makarevich is a ball. Three balls, no strike to Avery. Next pitch. She'll ground that past third base for a base hit, and a run will score. Second run will come across and score. Makarevich will go to second. So 2 more runs across for the Tigers, going to make it 6-2. As Cassidy Motter will get ready to bat, but looks like we may have a well, we're going to have a conference at the pitcher's mound with the infield for Plymouth. And looking back over at the score of the JV game, in the 4th inning, it's Ripon 4, Plymouth 2. So Ripon will have no outs, runner at second. 4 runs have come across, and Cassidy Motter coming to the plate for the Tigers. So Ripon again having another huge 5th inning. As Cassidy steps up to the plate and waits for the first pitch here this afternoon in game number 2 is Ripon leading here 6-2. No outs, and Motter once again hit by a pitch. She was hit back in the first game. And that's going to put runners at first and second. And Allie Bumby steps up to the plate now. Bumby was called out last time at bat as she interfered with the ball. She hit the ball and interfered with it. Now we're going to have Avery Makarevich is going to steal third, and Motter will hold at first. So runners at first and third now with no outs, and Bumby at the plate. Bumby fouls it away. Motter was off and running for second base. It's going to give Bumby a 1-1 count. And Bumby hits it down the first base line. It stays fair. Makarevich comes in to score. Motter around the third base and comes in to score. And Bumby will be on second with a double. So Ripon with 2 more runs across, going to make it 8-2. As Erica Mills will step up to the plate. Still no outs. And the pitcher pitched, but the umpire wasn't ready. He stepped away, so pitcher got a warm-up pitch. As Mills steps into the box to wait for the pitch. And that's there. She lays down a bunt, but it's going to go foul. for strike one for Erica Mills. So no outs, runner at second base for the Tigers. And Mills will drive it out to left field. It'll fall for a base hit. That's going to put Bumby on third. She'll round third, come home to score. And Mills is going for third, and she's down and in safe. So Erica Mills gets a triple here this afternoon as Bumby comes across the score. Everybody that's been up to bat for Ripon so far has come across to score. Erica Mills gets a base hit, and that brings up Layla Simonis. Actually, Mills had a triple. Not just a base hit, but a triple out of that. She got that right past the third baseman, just out of her reach. So Layla, the last batter in the order in the inning, she hits one to shortstop. Shortstop bobbles it, and she's going to be safe at first. And Mills comes across to score, and that's going to make our score 10-2 here this afternoon in the top of the fifth inning for the Tigers. So we're going to have Eva Baker, who led off this fifth inning for the Tigers, steps up to the plate. Ripon has no outs here in this fifth inning. And 8 runs have come across. A base hit. She drills the left field right over the top of the third baseman. Line drive. And Simonis goes to second. Baker is on first with a base hit, as we still have no outs, and coming to the plate will be Kylie Disterhalf. Disterhalf with a base hit in her first time up at bat this inning. So Ripon is batted all the way around. No outs, runners at first and second. Kylie Disterhalf at the plate. Our score 10-2, Ripon leading here by 8. Here in the top of the fifth inning. As Disterhalf steps in, 1 strike on her. She lays down a bunt, and they're going to call it foul. So strike 2 on Kylie. 0-2 count to Kylie Disterhalf as she gets behind in the count. Next pitch, a swing and a miss, so Kylie will strike out for out number 1 for the Tigers. As that brings up Lexi Miller for her second time at bat this inning. Base hit. 2 base hits this game, or this second game. She had a base hit first time at bat this inning and a base hit back in the third inning. So Lexi steps back into the box for the second pitch. And that's going to be there. It'll go down the third base line, but foul. So Lexi with a 1-ball, 1-strike count on her. 1 out, runner at second. And she gulps that one back to the pitcher for out number 2. Baker advances over to second base. Simonis at third. as Miller gets the second out. Now a line drive by Radloff right to the third baseman. Is going to be out number 3, but Ripon scores 8 runs in this top of the 5th inning to take the lead 10-2 over Plymouth. After 4.5 innings of play, Ripon leading here 10-2 after an 8-inning scoring run, or an 8-score inning by Ripon to put them up 10-2 here as we enter the bottom of the 5th inning. Ripon leading over on the JV diamond 4-2, and first pitch to Bowden Budrecki is the ball. 1-0 count. That one's a strike, and that's going to be a ground ball over to second, and they'll get her out at first for out number 1. So Allie Bumby gets it over to first base to throw her out, and that brings up Ray Hansen, top of the batting order. She'll ground over to third, and easy put out at first by Cassidy Motter. Makes it out number 2. So 2 quick outs for the Tigers here. Brings up Plymouth's Sophie Hansen. Hansen with the base hit back in the first inning. Hansen, a lefty. And she'll hit that one past Erica Mills at first base for a base hit. And I think that might be about the same place she put it last time that she hit it, was right past Mills. And the funny part about it is Mills just made a move back to first base just as that ball was hit, and so she kind of put herself out of the play. So a strike to Sophie Hansen, or excuse me, to Arbuckle. Sophie Hansen's at first. Arbuckle with the strike, and she hits foul down the third baseline for strike 2. Hansen has to return to first. Bottom of the 5th inning. Here in this second of this doubleheader, Ripon leading 10-2. And now a hit out to center field. And Lexi Miller there to pull it in for out number 3. No runs come across on 1 hit and no errors. Ripon leading here at the end of 5 complete innings of play. 10, Plymouth 2. Welcome back here to Ripon's Murray Park. I'm Bruce Link with your play-by-play today as Ripon prepares to start the top of the sixth inning, leading here this afternoon 10-2. First batter up for Ripon will be Avery Makarevich. Our technician adjusting our camera slightly, so if you see it move a little bit, that's why. And Makarevich fouls it down the third base line for strike one. Only got one camera again today. Didn't set up the second one because of the rain, so we don't have our usual two camera setup. As Makarevich steps up, she'll foul this one back for strike two. Nice picture there, Mr. Motter. So next pitch to Makarevich. And she'll hit that one between short and third base for a base hit. Makarevich having a good afternoon here today. Ripon all around having a good day here. Getting the base hits, and Cassidy Motter steps up to the plate. Cassidy flew out in the second inning. Grounded out to third base in the third inning and was hit by a pitch to put her on base in the fifth inning. So first pitch to Cassidy is a ball with a runner at first, nobody out. Ripon would like to pad this lead some more. And another ball, and Makarevich steals second. So 2-0 count to Cassidy Motter with a runner at second, no outs. And the next pitch is in there for a strike. So Cassidy Motter steps back up to the plate. And the next pitch is going to be a ball. Makes it a 3-1 count. 3 balls, 1 strike to Cassidy. And she tags the next one. That's going to drop for a base hit behind second base. Makarevich rounds third. She'll come home to score another Ripon run. Motter gets the double. So 1 run scores with no outs. Cassidy Motter on second after hitting a double brings up, looks like Avery Downs coming up to the plate to bat. I believe that's who it is. So Downs coming in to bat for Bumby.
Come on, Avery, you got this, girl.
Starting to rain out again. Temperatures cooled off here a little bit as well, as Avery Downs will step to the plate for the Tigers.
Everything you got into on Avery, eyes on it all the way, you got it.
As Avery steps up to the plate to bat for the Tigers. First pitch. I believe that was called a ball. This umpire not quite as easy to determine what he calls. And that should be ball 2. So 2-0 count to Avery Downs. Nobody out. 1 run has come across to make it 11-2. And a runner at second. And that's going to be a ground ball over to third. They'll throw her out at first as Cassidy Motter will go to third. So 1 out here for the Tigers. Cassidy Motter at third, and Erica Mills coming up to the plate. Erica hitting a triple in the last inning. And her first pitch to Erica will be a ball. Bottom of the sixth, or top of the sixth inning rather, here in game number 2. Ripon leads here 11-2 as Erica Mills takes ball 2. Score over on the JV field in the 4th inning is Ripon 9, Plymouth 2. So Downs steps back into the box again. And she'll ground it over to third. Third baseman can't snag it, and that's going to be error on the third baseman for Plymouth. So Motter holds at third. Downs is at first, and that brings up Layla Simonis to bat. Runners at first and third. Downs will go to second on the pitch. So that puts runners at second and third now with 1 out, and Layla Simonis at bat. Next pitch is a ball. Should be a 2-0 count to Simonis. And she'll take an inside pitch for a ball. So 3 balls, no strikes to Layla Simonis. Eva Baker on deck. And a strike now called to Simonis. 3 balls, 1 strike. 1 out and runners at second and third as Simonis grounds it over to third. And now we're going to have a rundown as Cassidy Motter is coming for home, and she's going to be in safe. So Motter comes in for another score. Erica Mills was almost to third base, and so they tried to get her in a pickle, and when they did that, Motter come home, and then Mills was able to get to third. So 1 out. 2 runs across. Score 12-2. Ripon leading here by 10 with Erica Mills at third, 1 out. And coming to the plate is Eva Baker. 2 outs rather. And Baker will hit that foul out of bounds down third baseline. So 2 outs, runner at third. And Baker takes a ball, so 1-1 count to Eva Baker. Eva had a base hit last time up at bat in the 5th inning. And another ball. That'll make it a 2-1 count. Temperature out here 66 degrees, but feels colder than that with this damp air. As Baker, she'll golf one over to the shortstop, and that'll be out number 3. But Ripon gets 2 runs across to increase their lead at the end of 5 1/2 innings of play. It's Ripon 12, Plymouth 2. Coming back to Ripon's Murray Park, looking over at the JV score. Ripon now leading 9-2 in the fourth inning over Plymouth. Here in the varsity game, it's Ripon leading 12-2. As stepping in to bat for Plymouth is Callie Helmer. Helmer tips the first pitch back, foul for a strike. And she'll step in for the second pitch from Simonis. And that's going to be high for a ball. 1-1 count now to Helmer. Helmer with a home run for Plymouth, a solo home run back in the fourth inning. This one she'll drive, ground ball between third and shortstop for a base hit. To start things off here for Plymouth in the bottom of the sixth inning. Coming up to bat will be Nikki Hess. So no outs, runner at first. And she'll hit that one right to Motter. And we get the double play as Motter right on top of it. Throws it over to first and gets Helmer out as she was leading off over there to like she was going to go to second, but heads up play by Motter. Gets the double play, and now we've got a ground ball, or actually a ball that Abby Radloff pulls out of nowhere for the third out. That's going to be 3 up, 3 down for the Tigers. And that's going to be the end of the game as 10-run rule applies. As Ripon wins it here this afternoon, 12-2 in the second game of the doubleheader here this afternoon. So Ripon comes out doing very well here this afternoon against Plymouth. Plymouth was 1 game ahead of Ripon coming into this game in conference standings, but Ripon now will go 1 game ahead of Plymouth on the double win today. So Ripon wins it 13-12 and 12-13 here in this doubleheader over in the JV field. As we get ready to wrap things up here on the varsity game, Ripon winning in the 5th inning over Plymouth 9-2. Over in that game, Ripon losing by 1 run in the JV game back in the first game. So be sure to join us Thursday, which is May 20th, as the Tigers travel to Campbellsport with first pitch scheduled for 4:45 p.m. And be sure to listen to Tiger Beat on 93.1 FM and 1600 AM WRPN every Thursday morning at about 8:20 a.m. for updates of what is taking place in Ripon High School sports. Brought to you by Accurate Controls in Ripon. Once again, final score today from Murray Park. Game number 1, Ripon wins it 13-12. And game number 2, Ripon wins it 12-2 to move 1 game ahead of Plymouth in the conference standings. I'm Bruce Link saying good evening alongside Jason Motter, our executive director. Thank you for joining us, and as always, stay Tiger proud.